When it comes to iconic symbols of World War II, the German Stahlhelm helmet stands out as one of the most recognizable pieces of military equipment. But while most people might just see a German helmet, enthusiasts know there's more to the story. Specifically, the evolution from the M35 to the M42. So let's dive into the story of these helmets, their differences, and how they shaped the battlefield. The M35 Stahlhelm was the brainchild of German military engineers in the mid-1930s, designed to replace the wwii-era M1916. The M35 was sleek, sophisticated, and practical, a real German engineering marvel. Its shape was scientifically designed to provide maximum protection to the head while maintaining visibility and mobility for the wearer. Crafted from high-quality manganese steel, the M35 had a smooth, rolled edge along the rim that gave it a polished look. This wasn't just for aesthetics, it reduced the chance of the steel catching or fracturing during combat. The helmet also had a ventilation system consisting of two small holes on either side, covered with separate vents called grommets, which acted as a breath of fresh air for soldiers in the trenches. Inside, the M35 featured a leather liner system and a chin strap that kept it snug and secure during action. Soldiers appreciated its comfort, which was saying something given the harsh realities of war. However, there was one downside. Manufacturing these helmets was expensive and time-consuming. High-quality steel, attention to detail, and multiple layers of paint don't come cheap. By the early 1940s, as the war dragged on and German resources were stretched thin, the high costs and production time of the M35 were no longer practical. Enter the M42, a streamlined and simplified version of its predecessor, introduced in, you guessed it, 1942. The most noticeable difference? That smooth, rolled edge was gone. The M42 had a raw edge, which not only reduced production time, but also saved on precious steel. Sure, it didn't look as polished, but in wartime, survival trumped style. The ventilation holes? Still there, but now the separate grommets were eliminated, further simplifying manufacturing. This change made the helmet less costly to produce and also slightly lighter, though not by much. The paint job also became less meticulous. While the M35 was often finished with a glossy, high-quality paint, the M42 went for a matte, rougher finish, designed to cut down on glare and camouflage the wearer better. While the M42 was cheaper and faster to make, it wasn't as comfortable as the M35. The raw edge could sometimes dig into the wearer's skin or catch on clothing, and the simplified liner wasn't as snug. However, both helmets were incredibly durable and provided excellent protection against shrapnel and debris, which were far more common threats in World War II than direct bullet hits. The M35 is often associated with the early German military victories of World War II, the Blitzkrieg, the invasions of Poland and France, and the swift domination of Europe. It was the helmet of a confident and well-prepared German military machine. The M42, on the other hand, symbolizes the later years of the war, when Germany was on the defensive, resources were scarce, and survival became the primary focus. It's a reminder of how even the smallest details, like the design of a helmet, can reflect the broader realities of a nation at war. So what's the real difference between the M35 and M42 Stahlhelm? In essence, the M35 was the Rolls-Royce of helmets, high quality, comfortable, and expensive. The M42, on the other hand, was the rugged pickup truck, practical, economical, and built for necessity. Both helmets played their roles in history, protecting soldiers through some of the most brutal conflicts the world has ever seen. And while their designs may have evolved, their legacy endures as symbols of resilience, adaptation, and the harsh realities of war. Let's just say, if helmets could talk, the M35 and M42 would have stories to tell that even the best history books can't capture. And who knows, maybe they'd argue about which one was better over a beer. Because even helmets deserve some downtime.